So, that's me, Edward Rowlands, age 17. At the time, a quiet boy, had just started my A-levels in biology, physics and music, and yes, I am standing in the middle of a makeup aisle, staring at a confusing array of different bottles, powders, creams and God knows what else, all of varying colours and shades. Now, you may think this is an unusual position for a guy to be in, and even I thought that at the time, but maybe this situation requires slightly more context. Let's rewind slightly about 6 years previous. This is me again, age 11. I had snuck downstairs in the middle of the night to watch TV. As I sat there flicking through the hundreds of channels, I was stopped by the sight of a man standing on stage in a skirt, tights, a red corset and a silver coat. At first I was confused. I didn't know what to think. It was something that I'd never really seen before. I kept watching, and it was at this point that my mother came downstairs, and I hurriedly switched the channel over to what happened to be the shopping channel, like it was something that I shouldn't have been watching. This was my first time experimenting with makeup, seeing the different things and how some of them worked. Some even baffle me to this day. Why did she need so much of it, and why all the colours and brushes? As much as it confused me, it never stopped my curiosity. On that occasion, and several occasions after, I pocketed various items for more closer inspection later, in the safety of my own bedroom. That's where I used to store all of my stolen cosmetic treasures, mixed in with old football stickers and marbles. I was terrified my mother might find out what I stole, so I stole sporadically. I never took the same kind of item more than twice in a row, to not arouse suspicion, although this didn't work, as I later found out when my mother was collecting for a boot set and found my hoard.
Cheers, thank you.
This is what I did with a lot of my spare time, shuffling through girls' magazines, sifting through the nonsense about relationships and how to get a man, trying to find any worthwhile fashion or makeup tips. I mean, at the time it was all just fantasy. I just thought that reading up on the subject might give me more information. But I suppose, not surprisingly, those kind of magazines didn't give much help to a young boy considering transvestitism. It was at this point that makeup had passed simple curiosity, and I began to question who I was.
1 second!
What being me meant, and what being a man meant, and to a further extent, did it matter? The discovery of makeup in my bedroom had long faded from my mother's memory, although I never really knew if she had genuinely dismissed it as childish games, or she just didn't want to face the facts or question me about it. I remember leaving to go out that night to a party and hoping that my mother would find that other stash of makeup in the bathroom and maybe this time confront me.
See you later, Mum.
It would save me the trouble at least.
Silence for this
Really
entire
into
song.
it.
Yeah,
Really
into it, like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
There's no giggling.
You
about
ruined
it.
it.
I know.
Ruined
I know.
Bed got out the boat. I was still in the boat.
What are you drinking?
Watch out, guys. There's a bender in the building.
Oh, lay all
got your
that.
butt. Oi, Tracy, nice dress.
This was one of the more awkward moments in my life. I was treading the fine line between social acceptance and individuality. I mean, looking back, I should have stood up and defended the guy. I think everyone says that. Sadly, social convention restricted me in this case, although I did end up alone outside of the guy.
Yeah, sorry about those guys in there. It can get a bit, you know.
Oh, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. You have to go quite a thick skin when you go around dressed like this. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I can imagine. Still, it must not be nice hearing it all the time.
Well, no, it's not pleasant, but for every bigoted bloke in a bar, there's 2 more friends waiting for you. Speaking of which, I think I best get back to mine. I'll see you later.
See you.
That night was a big turning point in my life. I learnt that what I was or wanted to be was okay to be. Well, at least for myself. Well, that's it. That's how we got here. To this position, standing in the pharmacy, contemplating whether to take the makeup to the counter and deal with the potential crippling looks of judgment, or to try and steal it and almost certainly get caught.
Oh, you don't want that shade. That would never go with your skin tone. You want a slightly lighter tone. And if you're going to have this, then you have to go with this lippy. That would be perfect.
Cheers. I mean, I don't really know.
Oh, don't worry about it. You've been in here enough times over the past week for me to work out that you weren't buying for someone else. I'll go put this stuff through the till.
Cheers. So, that's my story. Well, parts of it anyway. I went on to university where I studied engineering, and I now work for a large company, have a decent sized flat and a strong group of friends, and yeah, sometimes I choose to dress as a woman and other times I'm dressed as a guy. So, that's the story of Edward Rowlands. An engineer, a transvestite, but most importantly, me.